In this section, we're going to look at what we call the marginal principle. The marginal principle is used to fine-tune decisions. It's a way of figuring out exactly how much of an activity that one would like to do. And so what you want to be able to do is compare the marginal benefit of an activity with the marginal cost of that activity. So remember, marginal benefit represents how much more a person or a company would benefit from doing one more unit of whatever activity we're talking about. The marginal cost is how much more it would cost to do one more unit of that activity. So let's look at this example. Is compare the marginal benefit of an activity with the marginal cost of that activity. So remember, marginal benefit represents how much more a person or a company would benefit from doing one more unit of whatever activity we're talking about. The marginal cost is how much more it would cost to do one more unit of that activity. So let's look at this example where we're looking at how many movies should we make. And this is the making remakes of a given movie. So what we look at is, suppose you make one edition of a movie franchise, and that first movie costs you $125 million. But you earn $300 million. So when we compare the marginal benefit of $300 million to the marginal cost of $125 million, the marginal principle says as long as the marginal benefit is greater than the marginal cost, you should do more of that activity. In this example, we've got a marginal benefit of $300 million, marginal cost of $125 million, and in essence that's going to earn you a profit of $175 million. So it appears though that's a good idea, and according to the marginal principle it is. Now the next question is, now that you've already made one movie, should you make a second movie? And now, so you've already earned that $175 million. So the question is, how much more will it cost you if you make a second movie? And we look down at the table says that the marginal cost of the second movie is $150 million. So $150 million is a lot of money. But what's the marginal benefit of making that second movie? The marginal benefit is $210 million. So again, the marginal benefit is greater than the marginal cost. So if you make the second movie, you're going to earn an additional profit of $210 million minus $150 million, or $60 million more. Now, just because you made the second movie doesn't mean you lost the profit from the first movie. So remember, this is an incremental decision. If you're making 0 movies, the question is, should you make the first one? And the answer depends on whether the marginal benefit is greater than the marginal cost. And in this example, it is. Now you're making 1 movie. Should you make the second one? So again, look at the marginal benefit. Here it's $210 million. Compare it to the marginal cost of $150 million. And again, marginal benefit greater than marginal cost. So you're going to earn more economic profit by making the second movie. So in the first movie, you made $175 million in economic profit. The next movie, you make another $60 million in economic profit. And now you have to answer the question, now that I'm making 2 movies, should I make a third movie? Same analysis. Compare the marginal benefit to the marginal cost. We can see the marginal cost of this third version of this movie is $175 million. The marginal benefit of this third movie is $135 million. So it's going to cost you another $175 million, and it will earn you another $135 million. So if you already have made 2 movies and you're deciding whether to make the third one, you should see that the marginal cost is greater than the marginal benefit, and thus you should not do it. The marginal principle says anytime the marginal benefit is greater than the marginal cost, you should increase the number of units of that activity. If the marginal benefit is less than the marginal cost, you should decrease it. Ideally, you'll get to a point where the level of the activity is where marginal benefit equals marginal cost. In this example, we can't do that because we can't make 2 2/3 of a movie, so we would choose to make 2 movies. But in many instances, you can get right up to where marginal benefit equals marginal cost, and that's the optimum amount of an activity to do.